Welcome to another video from Auto Night, where today's video is going to be all about paint. Now you may notice that today I'm in the Z3, and there's a very good reason for that. Because I've turned the garage where this usually lives into a makeshift body shop. Last week's video took over 8 hours to edit, so I was determined that this week there'd be something a whole lot more simple. So let's head on down to the Auto Night spray booth. It is now time to repaint this grille in black on my chair of much paint. Pretty much everything I ever spray ends up on this chair, so it's a multitude of colours. I've got this 3 kilowatt space heater that's been on for a while to superheat this garage. It's working very well, it's very toasty in here. I prepared the grille using these nylon abrasive pads from Halfords. There are 3 levels of roughnessity in here. I used the grey, which is the finest one. And I'm initially using this grey primer from Simon Eyes, and then the gloss black. Both of these have been in the airing cupboard for most of the day, so they're nice and warm. As I've said before, you should never really paint in cold temperatures because you get what's called blooming, which is like a sort of a white milky haze in the paint. So I'm doing everything I can to avoid that. Shaken, not stirred, for 2 minutes. Just a very light haze, like a ghost coating to start with. It's important to do this in a well ventilated space, which this isn't. So if you never hear from me again, it killed me. It's now time for the final coat of primer. I'm then going to leave this overnight. It says leave it 2 to 3 hours before applying the top coat, but I'll leave it overnight. I can't leave this heater running in here all night because it's costing about £1 every few minutes. So I'll take this inside to the house to dry overnight. I'm now just going to spray these wheel centre caps with some matte black paint. That should freshen them up a bit. That will be the last coat now. They look very glossy, but that is matte paint, so that will dry with a matte finish. I'll show you when they're dry. I've brought these inside for the paint to dry, but I'm very happy with how they've turned out. Okay, this wheel has been prepared. Now, before you get too critical, I haven't gone crazy. These are sort of temporary steel wheels in a way. I've got to prioritise the mechanical elements of this car, and some of the vanity projects are kind of on hold while I sort out other things. But I'm going to give these a coat of this zinc galvanising spray as an initial undercoat and hopefully rust prevention, and then I can go on to other coats. It's perched on this mound of wood. I don't care if I get overspray on this old fence. And no, I don't live in some sort of encampment. The weather's just been too bad to cut this all up and burn it or take it away, whatever. Well, I'm actually wondering if this might be all I need. This is actually pretty amazing stuff. It's covering really well. It even seems the right colour. So what do you think? Here's a before and an after. I'm quite pleased with that. It's a bit brighter than the original. The second one is prepared. Meantime, the other one is drying in the house. And both wheels are now painted in that zinc paint. It's meant to be a top coat. I could leave it like that. I'm debating whether or not to use the wheel silver, the steel wheel silver that I've got, and then lacquer. I'm going to give it some thought. Okay, the grill is done. Several top coats, I probably put about 5 on in the end, and I'm very happy with the result. It's hard to really demonstrate just how beautiful and glossy this is, but it really is. It's in the house now at about 20 degrees where it will stay. And I'm not going to fit this for about a week. So I want it to be really hardened. Because what I don't want to do is damage this surface inside here when I refit the grill insert. In fact, I'll probably put some sort of soapy water around it just so there's no drag on it. But that is done. And the result has exceeded my expectations. So the chair of much paint has seen some serious action today, and I can now put away all these really expensive to run heaters. That one's not too bad actually. That's for 8 or 1200 watts, so that's quite a cheap one, but you do have to be really close to it to benefit from it. But when those heaters are on, you can literally watch this jumping up. Now, one thing I just wanted to talk about before I close this, I had a comment on one of my videos saying that it's a pity that I don't answer any emails, and I just wanted to address this. Now, in the early days I didn't really get many emails, if any, but now that's somewhat changed and I'm inundated with emails asking for technical advice. What could this be? What could that be? And it's becoming increasingly difficult to respond to them. One of my favourite films is Bruce Almighty. Now, I haven't seen many films in my life, only about 10 I think in total, mainly because I've got a really short attention span and I just can't sit still for that long. But in that film there's the email scene. If you know, you know. Well, it's got a bit like that, not quite to that extent. And I wanted to address this because I'm really grateful for everyone who subscribes to this channel, and I'm really grateful for those that view my videos. But I have to stress, I'm not a full-time YouTuber. I do work a main job. I have very long hours, I work shifts, and videos take a long time to edit. They take a long time to make, but they also take a long time to edit. And if I was to go back and read all my emails and respond to them all, there'd be no videos. So I'll do the best I can, but I've never promised free technical advice, and I even state in my channel description that I don't offer technical advice because you can't do it, because you need the car. If people say to me their engine management light's on, what could it be? It could be 100 things. So really, it might sound harsh, but I'm just managing expectations. If I didn't have to work the crazy shifts that I do in my day job, I would have time to sit there and go through everything. But it's not like that right now. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you like the results of my spray work. I'll see you again in another one very soon.